All right, this is Needle Movers, episode 3, and today I'm joined with Daniel, the founder of Abra Promotions, the built for Shopify app for running promotions. And before I get Daniel to give an introduction, Daniel, I want to tell you a quick story. So when I was building my brand, every Black Friday, Cyber Monday, we would always scramble and want to do something special. Great, this is 2016, 2017, and every year the team would come to me and we'd be like, let's do like a buy one, get one free, buy two, get this. And every year it was a massive fuck up. Like we had a developer who would have to code it in, customers would need to remember the code, and then they'd need to add the correct variant to their cart. They would get to the cart, there's confusion along the whole way. The actual discount didn't get applied till checkout. And I remember in 2019, same thing, Black Friday, Cyber Monday prep, and the team's like, let's do a BOGO. And I'm like, we're not doing any more fucking BOGOs. We're done with them. Just a straight discount works the best every time. But you've solved that problem, and you have just an amazing, you have amazing support from different brands. I hear independently from Mika and Sammy. They're super big supporters of you guys. Chrissy, the VP of marketing at Gym Reapers now, is like, I love the Abra team. They'll hop on a call the next day. So you guys have solved a really core thing that brands want to do, which is run great promos. So thank you for building that, and welcome.
Cool. Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, I can definitely relate to the problem there.
Yeah. I think it's a big problem a lot of brands have. And I still see a lot of brands that run like gift with purchase, and they put a huge burden on the customer to copy paste the code and add that item to cart. Daniel, could you give us just a really quick overview of what Abra is and then the use cases that Shopify brands are using it for?
Yeah, so we built Abra to make it easier to run complex promotions. And in particular, where we really try to focus is making a very good customer experience. The challenge we saw was, it's easy on Shopify to just drop your prices for everyone. It's a terrible business, but it's easy to do that. You go into your web, you go into Shopify, you go into the bulk editor, make all the prices 20% lower. In reality, most businesses want to be strategic about when they put together offers. They want to be nuanced on what they're doing. They want to make it easy for their customers. And they want to give it to certain people in certain scenarios. So that's where we kind of built Abra. The first version of Abra was actually called Magic Links. And the idea was, I ran my own store for 10 years, and I'd always wanted to have a magic link that I could say give to a customer and give them a gift with purchase immediately. Or if I wanted to run a sale on certain items, and when the customer clicks on it, they would just see everything adapt. So that was kind of the genesis of where Abra came from. We've been at it for 3 years. And the cool thing to see as a founder over 3 years is when you started from that seed of idea of like, I want to run a really good experience for somebody and give them a link. And where we've kind of taken it is taking on all the complexities that big complex businesses want. All the soup of, I want a gift with purchase on one of these products and a discount on another collection and all that. And, the exciting part for me is we can do all that stuff now. And so the exciting thing is, being able to help more merchants have control of their margins, have control of their merchandising, and creating a good experience. When you do all those things, you make more money. So that's why we do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great use case. I've talked with so many brands about just the value of just a basic gift with purchase that are running like $20 off, $25 off, 10% off on their maybe primary pop-up. And then you talk to these brands and you say, well, if we could give a gift with purchase for the $10 off, we could give $50 retail of goods. And it's like, it's 5 times as valuable in the consumer's mind. And we'll get higher opt-in rates, higher conversion rates. And we've just seen incredible, like some of our biggest split tests that we run are with the primary pop-up where we test like an Abra-powered link to a like a gift with purchase type of offer. Yeah. But it only really works when we have the smart links set up. One of the things I wanted to ask you was, what is within the Abra feature set? What's your favorite use case that you think is underutilized by big brands? So I think everybody knows the smart links and the gift with purchase, but what's the favorite use case that you don't see people using that you think they would benefit the most from?
Yeah, so I mean, like Q4 is really interesting with us. You know, we're filming this like just after Black Friday.
Yep.
So for us, one of the things we can do quite interestingly is what we call dynamic pricing.
Mm-hmm.
So using that same link, we can apply a discount. And we found that to be very impactful. Reason that's powerful is one, you can truly run a VIP sale to a certain group of customers. So we see this a lot with apparel brands that are, say, between seasons, right? So you're trying to clear out inventory of, winter clothing as you're going into spring. You don't want your website to look like a flea market and being like, oh, there's discounts on everything, everything's dropped. When like you actually would ideally, if somebody's discovering you through word of mouth or through like a branded channel, you want them to find the new stuff, your best stuff, right? Your best products that are perfect for where they are right now. And so something that we've found has been very powerful on that side is you can run that sale just to your email list, target one segment. People that have bought this in the past, you're going to move that inventory faster. It's a nice to have. And using this like the dynamic pricing, we can actually show the discount there. So, from a strategic standpoint, it's a good release valve there. But some of the powerful things that we've done is we can actually create functions. We work with Shopify on their discount functions. So they basically complicated discounts. So we have some merchants that create like a single discount code that discounts like up to 30 different collections at different discount values. So you can actually have a true sale.
Right.
And, because different SKUs have different sales velocity, even, different variants might sell at different paces. And so a powerful thing we've seen is instead of just having to do a 20% off everything, which is like not attractive enough in some segments and too aggressive in other segments of your catalog, you can be a lot more aggressive there. So we find like that's one of the more interesting levers. Like we have some merchants that we work with that have like 30 to 40 concurrent, I wouldn't call them experiments because they are actually funnels. They got 30 or 40 funnels that are like different links for different people on different things at any given time. So I think that can be very powerful. And I think it's
Almost
something
like
that's, yeah,
a form of personalization to different audiences.
exactly. Like what I think I've seen some merchants that work in certain verticals where like they either have a association to sports teams or like different like musicians or like where there's kind of some form of loyalty around things. And we found that when you actually create the offer around their interest, it obviously has a much higher click-through rate, conversion rate, AOV, because it's one thing to say, oh, 20% off everything. But if it's like, if I'm an Arsenal soccer fan, it's like, is 25% off only the Arsenal stuff? I'm like, oh,
That's
okay,
awesome.
cool. This is for me. Like,
Yeah. So
and
you could have
you
that
know,
like
it's
you could have like 40 geo run and all like referencing like the local like NFL team or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
super
so
cool.
like, yeah, so like, I think that personalization of the experience is an interesting one. I think stuff we did a lot of this year was like geo optimization. So we had a brand we work with that sells backpacks. They're massive, and they were doing. We helped them do a single promotion that had for gift with purchase, where they had 10 different thresholds for the gift with purchase across all their markets. So they sell in like US, Canada, UK, EU, Australia, Malaysia, Indonesia, and they could just do it out of the box, seamless experience. That's some of the really powerful stuff that we spend a lot of time these days kind of optimizing and tweaking
That's
for
amazing. It
people.
makes it so easy for brand owners to run these what used to be very complex promos. You have a lot of visibility across a lot of big brands, and I wanted to ask you, how have you seen brands doing this Black Friday, Cyber Monday compared to previous years? Are they running new promos, similar, and do they seem up? Do they seem flat, down?
I mean, for us, it was a pretty massive year and massive Q4, and I think we definitely have like a bit of a selection bias of the people that use us are aggressive, are trying different things and trying a lot of kind of smart things. Um, I would say probably the biggest thing we spent all of this year working on because last year a big problem we ran into was the one you kind of mentioned on the outset of things like around combinations where I want to run a gift with purchase on this collection and a product discount and I mean marketers always want to do more which is
Yeah.
lovely, it's generous, you want to give away as much as possible in the most ways. That's lovely. The problem is Shopify's discounting has not been that flexible historically. And so we spent a lot of time, like in May of this year, we launched something with Shopify. They created a new API for discounts. We were one of the first app developers to do it. And that allowed you to like combine a gift with purchase and a product discount, even multiple gift with purchases, all into a single discount, which is way more predictable. And then we launched our own combinations feature that allowed you to like activate multiple things. That's how we did this. Like,
Is that the multi-tier
and
feature?
it's more combinations. So you can
Right.
take multiple tiers even, and you
Yeah.
can add up to five at least into
Yeah.
one promotion. So if you want to activate multiple things that are distinct, for example, if you have, so we see this a lot in beauty. So if you have, say, one vendor, they're going to give you 200 units, right, to give away for free. But like they don't want you to be selling their competitors' products to get the gift with purchase. You know, they're not going to say, "Oh yeah, get my a free sampler of this if you buy $200 of anything on your store." That doesn't work for me. I'm trying to increase my
Yeah.
volume. So we've been working with a bunch of beauty brands where they might have like five different gift with purchases live at their site at any time on like the various collections.
Right.
They have unique purchase patterns. So if you buy from this collection, from this vendor, then you get this gift with purchase. You buy from that vendor, you get this gift with purchase, and those kind of
Yep.
things.
Super
So
smart.
yeah, coming out of Q4 this year was a great. My co-founder and I were just saying it's like it was a great relief that a lot of those problems that we saw in Q4
Yep.
they weren't problems. They like just served and they kind of executed that well. So that was a huge one for us.
Yep. That's amazing. And you're an ex Shopify PM. Is that did I
Yeah.
read that right when I was looking up your bio? That's amazing. And what would you say if you look at the Shopify ecosystem today and their roadmap for 2026 or what you're aware of? What are you most excited about that Shopify is working on that's coming? Or is there any sort of like you just mentioned key frustration with how things are running, like in particular around promos that you're looking forward to being unlocked for brands?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think so. When I was at Shopify, I built like the storefront APIs and like the first headless stuff, and I actually built the marketing section in Shopify and all the integrations in there. So that's always been kind of my wheelhouse. And one of the things that I think, as I was leaving Shopify and I was looking at where I wanted to build, I think a big thing was this idea of being able to personalize the experience for my different marketing channels. And the online store wasn't quite ready when I was at Shopify, so in 2021. But they've had great leaps and bounds there, and I think it's very exciting where that personalization, those building blocks are coming. So that's something we're very
Yep.
excited about. I think the part that I think really excites me on what's coming in 2026 is obviously we work very closely on the discount side with Shopify, and the big goal on that side has been Shopify scripts was this thing that existed in Shopify for quite a while. It was something where any merchant could write a script that would control anything in checkout, and it was helpful for very sophisticated merchants that knew what they were doing. But for people that didn't have their own developers or weren't that confident what they're doing, it could end up pretty bad.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
this very
Yeah.
unboxed thing. But scripts made a lot of things possible. And what the team at Shopify have been doing is working very hard to give more robust APIs to allow app developers like us ourselves do the things that scripts can do. So Some of the things, like this year is a big year for them kind of migrating away from scripts. And so some of the things that we're very excited about are like buy X, get Y discounts. So there's a bunch coming down the pipe from Shopify and that. And, that's like a tactic. Once people understand what Abra does, we get into the nitty gritty of like, how do you have more margin control? How do you keep things fresh and have various offers that give you that? So Bikes Get Y is one that we're very excited to kind of build on. And then the other one that's going to be very interesting is stacking. So stacking is not a thing in Shopify right now. It always takes kind of the biggest discount. And so Shopify is going to be opening up Pandora's box a little bit there.
Yeah.
So we're quite excited about that one. It's going to be an interesting user experience challenge on how we make that predictable and easy to understand. Because honestly, 80% of what we do when we work with merchants is help them understand the rules of how Shopify checkout works and how predictable it is. So I think that stacking, is going to be a very interesting lever.
That'll be super helpful. I know a lot of brands that we work with, they always, in particular, their content creator affiliate discount codes, they want those to persist, even if there's a greater discount code that gets applied, obviously just for tracking reasons. They feel like there's just a lot of reasons that they want those in particular to stack.
Yeah. There's whether it's when they want them to stack and not want them to stack, there's like infinite permutations I've seen of those rules. So I think the thing I'm excited about on the product side, once we get our hands on the APIs there, are like, how do we make it so that it does give you more control? Because, the most rewarding part, I think, or part of what we do is like helping merchants zoom out and manage all of their funnels that they have concurrently. And so mapping that logic of how you want things to stack and not stack, I think is going to be a very interesting one.
So the last, it's a pair of questions and very practical, geared towards the Shopify brands that are 1 to 10 million. So they're emerging brands. They're still in that like testing things out stage, and they're looking for every opportunity to grow. And they're looking at gift with purchase. What sort of practical tips do you have for brands to determine what the best product to run these promos with is? What can brands look at? How can they determine what the best product is to give away? What are some attributes that make a great gift with purchase?
I think the interesting thing about gift with purchase is it can do so many different things for you, right? Like, I think the example you shared earlier where, you've got that, like a high margin gift with purchase product where it's got that sticker value where you can show like a relative discount, you know what I mean? Where you can give away something there. So I think with gift with purchase, I think one lever to look through is it can seem a lot bigger than a product discount, right? Rather than 20% off on anything, you can give 100% off on a bigger thing. And if it's say a $100 or $200 qualifying threshold, you can have quite a lot of control over it. So I think that's always a powerful element there. I think the other area I like to think about gift with purchase is it's a great merchandising opportunity, right? So I think, gift with purchase doesn't always have to be an alternative to a product discount. It can be an opportunity for trial, whether that's like a new product or an adjacent product. Like how can you kind of get people to discover and change their purchase behavior? I think another angle might be on the loyalty side of like, if someone frequently buys something and really likes it, I think a gift with purchase that is personalized to them can be quite meaningful and kind of helpful there. So, on the pet side, if you always buy a certain something and like, your pet really likes something and you're offering a gift with purchase, let's say you split your customer segments into 2 or 3 and you like target that, like that will see a little more personalized. Because even just on the, I think it's always, I think when you're designing promotions, it's easy to just do them in a spreadsheet.
Right. Yeah.
And just do them in the math. But I think you need to, the best promotions we see, they increase click-through rates, right, in the email or the ads, right? They increase conversion rates on the site. People are adding more of the things that they want, and they convert at checkout, and it works on the balance sheet. Those are the best promotions we see. So I think, I think especially when you think of that merchandising bucket, coming up with an offer, and maybe you need multiple offers for different people here that are going to increase click-through rate, increase conversion rate, and hit the bottom line. Versus, I think, often people take the best, the best they can. You know what I mean, from all three, and they average it out. And sometimes it's the offer that makes sense on the business side. But like, it's hard to explain to customers. It's a messy experience on the storefront, and those are just going to fall flat, right? Like, you need to hit each one of those things well. You know what I mean?
Yep. One of the things that we've done successfully is that we'll use a post-purchase on the thank you page, open-ended question. We'll say, what gift, it could be anything, would you be super excited to receive with your order today? And the questions or the answers that we get are always very interesting from a merchandising perspective. For example, a VR accessories company, the number one like sphere of gifts was candy and candy related goods, because they're gamers. I don't know, they're just snacks. And I was like, oh, maybe that's something fun to add and run as a promo. Daniel, this was a super exciting conversation. I think we got a lot of great tidbits for D2C brand owners and agency service providers to help implement. So I wanted to thank you for your time, and thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you. It was a pleasure.